Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where I break down the top 5 domestic box office results, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie did, so let's get started. Number 5 was Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, making $4.5 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $188 million and a worldwide total of $547 million. So despite the summer movie season kicking off, this movie is still sticking around. Man, the staying power this movie has, just unbelievable. The fact that it's still around is really impressive to see. Because of that, it is now just $12 million away from not only surpassing the 2014 Godzilla film to become the biggest film in the MonsterVerse franchise domestically, but also $12 million away from surpassing $200 million domestically. We'll see if it can get there. It's certainly going to be a slow crawl to get to that milestone, but given the staying power it has had, I definitely think it's going to be able to crack that milestone in the coming weeks for sure. Worldwide, it is now roughly $25 million away from surpassing Kong Skull Island to become the biggest film in the MonsterVerse franchise worldwide. Again, it's going to be a slow crawl to that, especially with all the big movies coming out this summer, but you know, anything's possible, especially with the staying power of this movie. Yeah, just not much more else to say. We're pretty much in the slowdown period for this movie. I think it's got at least one more week left in itself and then it'll be out of the top 5, but still, you know, just the fact that we're still even talking about this movie, it's lasted this long at the top 5, even though it's understandable why it's still here. No movie has really reached the heights of this movie since it's come out, but still, the fact that we're still talking about it is still pretty insane at the very least. The fact that, you know, in its second weekend it seemed like maybe this movie might be in trouble. It was pretty front loaded on the first weekend, but no, it's had really solid legs. It's really carried throughout this slow period at the box office. Not much more else to say except, you know, once again, job well done. Number 4 was Taro, opening with $6.5 million this weekend domestically and $10 million worldwide. This is the 5th biggest opening for a horror film this year. It topped Immaculate, but it still sits behind The First Omen, Imaginary, Abigail, and Night Swim. So another unfortunate disappointment for the horror genre, although to be fair, this was rather expected. I wasn't really expecting this movie to blow up or anything, but even I thought it would do slightly better than this. It just really seemed like no one was interested in this movie. I saw low buzz for this. The marketing wasn't even that great, to be honest. I barely saw any ads or stuff anywhere for this movie. It just didn't really seem like a movie a lot of people wanted to see, and those who did go and see this movie did not like it. It got a C- cinema score rating, which is on par with stuff like Night Swim and Imaginary, so I don't think this movie's gonna have the best legs either. The benefit to this movie, though, is that it only costed $8 million. It already made that back worldwide. All it has to do now is double that. I'm sure it's gonna get to the doubling point at some point, but given the poor response from audiences, the bad word of mouth, it's probably going to be a slow crawl to get to that milestone. So yeah, not a very good start for Taro, even though it's already a box office success. It's already heading in the right direction. These are still not great numbers for the movie on its first weekend. Number 3 was Challengers, making $7.5 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $29 million and a worldwide total of $52 million. So it seems Challengers picked up the pace recently. On the daily numbers, it was really doing very well, so it seems that word of mouth had really caught on and won in its favor. Audiences clearly like it more than what was initially believed in, and because of that, it's about to surpass a couple milestones. I'm sure by the time this video comes out, it will have already surpassed the $30 million milestone domestically, and if it can continue holding with these strong holds, having good legs throughout its theatrical run, we could see it surpassing $50 million domestically, which isn't too bad for the movie this is, because worldwide it's already about to surpass the $55 million initial budget total, you know, worldwide, which is great to see. Now all it has to do is double that. The problem, though, is that it just has to keep going. It just has to keep maintaining these strong holds. People just have to keep going out to see it. More people have to go out and see it, and because of the stiff competition this summer, it's gonna be a tough ask, I know, but if it can just maintain these strong holds, these strong legs for the next couple of weeks, I'm sure it'll probably be able to at least just barely get over the doubling point. It's certainly going to surpass its initial budget, and hopefully this can continue to become a sleeper hit because, with the opening, it was good, but people were still skeptical on this movie's performance, but it seems like this movie may have a chance at exceeding those, and I'm hoping it can do that. We need these more of these smaller surprises because the box office ain't really so hot right now. So yeah, in terms of this weekend, it's a really solid performance for Challengers. Once again, I hope it can continue to maintain these strong holds. The word of mouth can encourage others to go check it out, but it's going to be tough, given the rest of the summer, the big competition on the horizon. So we'll see how this movie does, but things are looking pretty good right now for Challengers. Number 2 was the re-release of The Phantom Menace, making $8.7 million this weekend. It adds its domestic total to $483 million and a worldwide total of $1 billion. So the Star Wars re-releases still continue to do very well. I believe even exactly this time last year when Return of the Jedi had its re-release, that also was able to impress at the box office and crack the top 5. So this continues that tradition. People just love revisiting this franchise. Even with this movie's notorious reputation, people still went out to go and check it out on the big screen again to celebrate its 25th anniversary, which is always neat to see. Always wonderful to see these re-releases cracking the top 5. It brings a nice little surprise to the top 5. It shows how much the fan base is still willing to go check this movie out, despite probably seeing it billions of times already. Just reliving seeing these movies for the first time on the big screen is always wonderful. So yeah, just not much more else to say because it is a re-release. This is probably going to be very front-loaded. Probably won't be in the top 5 next week. But yeah, the fact that it was able to crack the top 5, let alone top number 2, is still very impressive. And finally, let's end the video off with the number 1 movie of the weekend, which was The Fall Guy, opening with $27 million this weekend domestically and $64 million worldwide. Of course, this is the biggest opening weekend of the summer and the biggest movie of the summer already, topping, Tarot. But in terms of the year, this is the 7th biggest opening of the year. It was able to top Civil War, Argyle, and The Beekeeper, but it still sits behind Mean Girls, Bob Marley, One Love, Ghostbusters, Kung Fu Panda 4, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, and Dune Part 2. If you couldn't tell already, this is a very disappointing opening. I thought this movie would do a lot better than it did. I thought the buzz was there, the reviews seemed great. A lot of people were really digging this movie. The marketing was excellent. It had star power. This seemed like this was going to be a movie to really kick us into high gear for the summer movie season, and unfortunately it just didn't really. Now, it's not to say like this movie can't go anywhere from here, because I've said many times the opening weekend isn't the end all for a movie, as audiences do seem to like this movie. It got an A- cinema score, which is actually higher than most of these types of movies. It's certainly higher than the B+ Bullet Train got, which is the director's last movie. So if anything else, word of mouth, maybe like Challengers, can kick off and we can see this movie pick up the pace and hopefully get to becoming a surprise hit for the summer. It could happen given the word of mouth, but it's got a lot of competition. We got a very big movie coming out this weekend, so we'll see how it fares against that. And the budget for this movie is just way too high. This is $130 million movie. Now, internationally, things seem to be slightly better for this movie, and worldwide, it's already at $65 million, so it could get past eventually the initial budget, but then it's got to double that. And again, the budget for this is just way too big. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to get to there with this kind of opening. So it's going to be interesting to see where this movie goes from here. Again, this is a disappointing opening. I was hoping this would do a lot better, but I'm not going to discount it right now. Hopefully the legs kick in. Hopefully it can put up a good fight against a lot of the other movies coming out this summer. But yeah, this is not a great start. Hopefully word of mouth kicks in. Hopefully this is not the end of the story for The Fall Guy. We were talking about Challengers last week and how that opening wasn't the best for that type for the budget it was, but word of mouth kicked off and now it's already making its budget back. And I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen for this movie, but hopefully it can at least garner some sort of levity after this. Hopefully it gets a second chance at the box office, because right now things ain't looking so hot for the film. So yeah, it's not looking great. Not a great start for The Fall Guy. Very disappointing opening. Hopefully things get better, but yeah, things ain't looking so great. And those were your top 5 domestic box office results for this weekend, but we're not quite done yet, as we've got another week ahead of us and new movies hitting theaters. And this weekend we have one new major wide release, that film being Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The continuation of where we left off from the prior Planet of the Apes trilogy that takes place years after the fact. Apes are pretty much in control of the planet. Humans are being hunted by them, and it talks about the moral quarrels with that. If The Fall Guy was supposed to be the movie to kick off the summer, I think this is the one that's really going to kick us off, really get us back into motion here. I think there is a lot of interest with this movie. It's the first big movie we've had in a while. It's certainly the big movie with a monkey in it since Godzilla x Kong, and I think because of the spectacle and the scale of this film, the legacy of those Planet of the Apes movies, I think there's interest here. Plus the marketing has been fantastic. They've been doing a lot to promote this movie, especially with the publicity stunts where they had actual apes riding on horses in various parts of the country, which is so cool. I really think there's a lot of interest. I think this is definitely going to get us back into gear with the summer movie season. Definitely going to have a bigger opening. There's definitely more interest here with this movie than I think The Fall Guy. And yeah, I think we're going to see the biggest opening in a while. I'm not expecting Dune or Godzilla x Kong numbers here. I just think those movies just had a bit more hype and buzz than this movie, but I wouldn't discount this movie overperforming, I do think this movie is going to deliver definitely the biggest opening we've had in a while. But we'll see how well this movie truly does, as well as the rest of the movies that land in the top 5 on the next Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you all think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.